Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we visit Giano's Candy, your Easter headquarters. I also prepare ricotta pie with pineapple. But first, an interview with author Patsy Palumbo and his book about his days with Left End. I am here with Patsy Palumbo, drummer from Left End. Tenacity, that's the name of the book that he published about the band, the whole history, really, of rock, basically, in the Mahoning Valley. And I was thinking, Pat, when I was reading this, I said, this could be like a yearbook for Youngstown Rock and Roll High, or the Who's Who. When I'm going through this, the names, how do you have such a good memory of dates and times and all the people involved?
Well, good question. A lot of people have asked me that. Actually, I was always an impressionable person, and I think I'm a good listener. So I heard the things that were happening, I watched the things that were happening, and they always had an impression on me. And frankly, I was a storyteller. Mm-hmm. So I would tell the stories that are in the book, I've told again and again. And frankly, that's why I wrote the book, because people finally said, you know, you should write a book. You have all these great stories and memories of the Left End days and what it was like in music in the Valley and in the tri-state area for about 35 years. Why don't you put that all in a... So I did. Sunshine girl, know I love you, Sunshine girl, know I love you,
What got you into the drums?
Well, I tell the story in the book that when I was a young boy, our neighbor who lived next door to me on the south side of Youngstown was a drummer in a band, and they were actually back in the days of the Bill Haley Comet and the Comets stuff, and they were doing songs like Rock Around the Clock and that, and I would be 4 years old sitting on the basement steps watching these guys, and the drummer was Tom Hodis, my neighbor, and I always looked up to him as like an older brother, and I'd always say, I want to play the drums like Tom, you know.
And then it really took flight.
Yes.
With our man.
With Dennis
T. Menace.
Yes, that's correct.
And God rest his soul, but the lyrics, I mean, he immediately picked up on everything.
People saw the persona he was on the stage, which was, of course, legendary.
Yes, larger than life.
Not only as a phenomenal singer, I would compare him to any of the great rock singers of his time, but also his antics on stage, his mannerisms on stage, he just commanded the stage.
I'd always heard that after you got your contract with Polydor, that Casablanca, who had signed Kiss, had kind of muscled Polydor to squelch you guys because they had the makeup band. But you say that's not true.
No, so many said they saw you in Cashbox and they stole that from you. But I don't think that's true, because if you go back and chronicle it, you'll see that Kiss was actually wearing makeup before we were signed with Polydor, so they were into it as well, about the same time.
I just like to stir up stuff.
But
I like a little controversy.
Story. A friend of ours ran into Ace Frehley.
Okay.
And asked him that. He said, Ace, he said, I got to ask you something. When Kiss started out, is it true you guys stole your makeup from Left End in Youngstown, Ohio? And he said, I don't remember. He said, but if we did, it probably was the best theft anybody could make.
Yeah. When things started falling apart because of the management at Polydor, I mean, that had to just be a gut punch.
Well, it was devastating because they had plotted a European tour for us. We were known around the United States and much of North America as the monster that ate Cleveland. They determined they were going to send us to Europe. They said, we want you guys to go in Europe and break in Europe because you will be the monster that devoured Europe. Then you're going to come back here. And all that was planned out, but the Europe thing never happened. the people that were supporting us at the record company left the record company because of a merger they had with another company. Mm-hmm. So our people, so to speak, our contacts weren't even at the office anymore. So we would call and say, we want to talk to Peter Siegel, or we want to talk to Elaine Goldstein, or we want to talk to this person. They'd go, well, they're not available right now.
Never know what's in front, my eyes can't see.
What was one of your favorite shows?
Probably for me, when we played with the Funkadelic Parliament in Detroit at Cobo Arena, we actually headlined a concert, and our warm-up band was the Funkadelic Parliament.
Can you believe
with George
that?
Clinton.
And what, you lent him the cymbals?
Oh yeah, I lent the drummer. He kind of propositioned me. Can I borrow those flashy cymbals? And I went, sure, go ahead. Playing with the Eagles.
And Spring Fling.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a big highlight.
That was such an every year that was such a big thing for us.
Yes. Left End did 13 straight years
God.
Spring Thing, and then the 13th year, of course, was when the park had burned down. We did the last
my
year.
gosh, that was such a sad thing. Do you miss it?
I miss it a lot, and that's why when I had the opportunity to play with Leanne Binder and Generation Rock.
And she is so talented.
Yeah, she's just awesome. She's incredible. It was an honor working with Leanne and Roy Guerreri from Left End.
I know, and Roy was also in Generation Rock.
Yeah, and so that was incredible to come back again and play again with Roy and do the thing again. But
so you're still gonna play?
I jam every day. I got this little electronic drum set, Casey, in our living room. Literally, my wife allows me to do this, and I'm banging all the time. And the dogs think I'm still good. Our dogs say, "You still got it, man. You still got it, you old dude."
This is the Casey Malone Show.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Family-owned Mayflower Woolham Insurance Group is your full-service independent agency. Our family works with a variety of insurance companies, so you have the best choices for your insurance needs. Let us find the right product at the right price. Personal lines, business, farm, commercial insurance, life insurance. Trust locally owned Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important.
We'll take care of the details.
Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Island Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Island Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
Well, I am here with Rude, the dude at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. And it is never too early to start planning your parties.
No, Casey, yeah, we have our banquet room that's attached to the building here for, upcoming graduations, communion, things of that nature. We also have a catering menu for offsite. So if you're interested in just letting us cook for you for your parties, we can do that. So if you want to check out our websites, you can see what we have to offer.
And what is the capacity under COVID guidelines for the side room?
Following all the COVID guidelines, we can hold up to 80 people.
Oh, so, you can still party safely here at the Magic Tree. And I gotta tell you, that menu, you have more farmers on that menu than the Canfield Fair.
Yeah, well, we love to support local here at Magic Tree, so supporting our local breweries and farms is what we like to do.
And the biggest selection of craft beer, it's all here. Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
I personally feel that Forever Mark is the best because only 1% of diamonds can even become a Forever Mark diamond.
Diamonds take millions of years to be formed in the ground, and it's not very pretty. Once you get to that inner core of the diamond, it really can give beauty and light.
Forever Mark goes beyond the technical qualities of the 4 Cs. They hand-pick diamonds that are truly beautiful.
Get real, get Kamara.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, the Casey Malone Show is having a kitchen vacation. What do you think about the new digs? We are going to do some cooking today in McCabe and Chrissy Patrick's brand new kitchen. When I saw this thing, I said, you guys better let me cook a couple dishes in here. And in honor of Easter, I'm going to make a pineapple ricotta pie. I love ricotta pie, and at Easter time, my Italian friends always make them for me. And I grabbed this recipe, and I've made this the last few years. This is from the Greater Italian Fest, and they were celebrating their 25th anniversary. So I got this when they were selling them downtown, and this lovely woman, Vivian Corso Cormel, makes an excellent ricotta pineapple pie. The only variation is she makes her own crust, and I'm using a store-bought 9-inch graham cracker crust. But everything else, the ingredients are hers and to her specifications. For this recipe, you'll need a pre-made 9-inch graham cracker crust, 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 15 ounces of ricotta cheese, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple and heavy syrup, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. So before we get started, I am going to drain the heavy syrup from the crushed pineapple. So I'm going to use a whole milk ricotta cheese, 15-ounce container that comes right out. And then I'm going to add the 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, the granulated sugar, the 2 eggs, the vanilla. We use the cornstarch twice in this recipe, but the 2 tablespoons go in at the beginning. And then she calls for the lemon zest. And I found that the amount she called for is actually 1 lemon. Well, I've already preheated McCabe's oven to 350 degrees. And you know how I love my immersion blender. Well, the first few times I made this, I used the regular hand mixer, and it worked out fine. Well, the last few times I've made this, I used my immersion blender, and it doesn't add as much air, and I didn't have as many bubbles, and it was actually smoother and creamier. So I'm gonna use it again, and it's less to clean up. So all you have to do is use the immersion blender and just stir this together. I know it looks like a mess, but once you get it all mixed together with the egg and the cream and the ricotta, it smooths down really nicely. And you just pour this mixture into the pre-made 9-inch pan. I'm gonna put this in the 350-degree oven for 50 minutes. And the edges will get a golden brown, and the center will still be a bit jiggly. So over medium heat, you're going to add the juice of 1 lemon, and that's the lemon I just zested. And see, look at, this is all the syrup that came out of that can of pineapple. And it's really about a cup. So I'm only gonna use half of this. So I'm gonna pour half of this in, and I can't see. So I'm gonna pour half a cup in, and the other half you're just gonna have to drink or do something else with. And then you add the cornstarch. And then what we're gonna do is warm this up and keep stirring it until it becomes thick. All right, see how it's not liquidy anymore, and see how it's like a nice syrup? See how it sticks to the spoon? All right, so now I'm just gonna turn off the burner, and now I'm going to add the drained pineapple. I'm just gonna mix this together until it all combines. And then I'm just gonna leave it here and let it get to room temperature. Wait for the pie to come out of the oven. And then everything will cool to room temperature before we assemble it. Cover it and refrigerate it for at least an hour, but actually I think overnight is best.
What are we enjoying?
Isn't this delicious?
I didn't try it.
It is, it's a cava from Spain, Galita.
Oh, that is really
Kenny
good.
said we were going to enjoy it.
I love that, Ken. And then we cheers to Viv for the great
and
recipe.
Vivian. Now, you haven't tasted it yet. I've already had this like 5 times.
You already ate it?
Well, I've been making it. Tell me what you think.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
really
delicious?
good.
So to Vivian,
what you're doing,
to
Vivian.
Christine, and to McCabe, go to my website, caseyemalone.com, for this ricotta pineapple pie recipe.
Yummy.
Cheers. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
Catch the madness this March at Creekside Fitness with memberships as low as $34 a month. Experience life on the fit side at Creekside Fitness.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
My basement was dreadful. Cracked concrete, chipped tiles, it was my dumping ground. Carpet, vinyl, wood don't last. Now I have Pebblestone, the best basement floor covering, made with natural stone and the strongest man-made binder. Pebblestone evened out my floor. Easy to clean, resists moisture, and withstands flooding. You will love your basement. Call locally owned Pebblestone, the best flooring system. It's not just any stone, it's Pebblestone.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Welcome to the Sweet Life. Giano's candies have been a part of the fabric in the Mahoning Valley since 1910. It is a true family business, with third-generation brothers John, Greg, and Gus heading up the operations. Every filling, chocolate, egg, and bark is made in their factory in Struthers. Their reach is national thanks to appearances on the Home Shopping Network, but the work ethic, family atmosphere, and quality chocolate makes Giano's a locally owned gem. We are here with the Giano's brothers, and they are the owners of Giano's Candy. And we've got Greg, Gus, and John. Tell me a little bit about the family history. Since 1910, your grandfather started this business.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. He came from Greece. He come over here, started making it, and then my dad brought it over at home. And then John, when he got out of school, he started up. And then when I got out of school, I went with John. And then when Gus got out, he joined us. So it's been a family affair ever since, you know. And now our kids are in it, and we're waiting for grandkids to come in.
I mean, that is such a great story. Now, the three of you working together, guys, who's the hardest working, really, out of the three brothers?
Well, who's here the longest is Greg. I have to admit that. He's here early in the morning getting things started, and he's the last one to leave here. But when it goes back to when we were younger, working in the basement of the home, we'd kill each other. Yeah. But now that, you know, he's somewhere and Greg's elsewhere and I'm elsewhere, we all get along fine now.
John, the process starts, you've got to melt down the chocolate first.
Right, we have a special blend of milk chocolate that we have from two different companies that we blend off. As you can see in the vat, this is a 6,000 pound vat that we probably empty once or twice a day. But our chocolate all comes in 10-pound blocks.
Okay.
You can see. Then we pretty much just
chuck it in. Wow.
On our milk chocolate, we try to stay middle of the road. This area is known for lighter chocolate, the Ohio area and eastern Pennsylvania. So we're trying to stay middle of the road. It's a little lighter than like your store brands, your Hershey's and everything. So we're trying to stay a little lighter. And our dark is, you know, very dark, very good dark chocolate. But our milk chocolate, we blend it to be right in the middle. We try to, it's very creamy and milky. Ours is, it's got a caramelized flavor. It's different than most everybody else's.
And then this is the recipe that you got from your grandfather?
Yeah, except my grandfather used to make 5-pound batches, 10-pound batches. So he wasn't as flexible as far as telling the chocolate producers what to do with their recipes.
What would your grandpa think if he saw this now?
I think he'd be pretty proud, and so would my dad. I think the greatest part would be that the three brothers, me, my brother Greg, and Gus, have been working together since day one.
So you have the peanut butter, raspberry cream, you have the coconut.
Coconut.
Do you make all your centers
All our
also?
centers are made back in the kitchen there. The kitchen crew usually starts 4 or 5 hours earlier, so they'll make the centers, and when the girls come in, we start enrobing them. This is what we call our enrobing line. Start enrobing them with chocolate, so that whatever's made in the kitchen today will be finished and enrobed by the end of the day today in the warehouse, and some of it's shipped like before noon.
And at Easter time, is that your most popular egg too?
No, actually in the Easter time, our maple walnut, fruit nut, and nut egg, and peanut butter egg are 4 most popular. They're pretty even.
As you can see, the cellophane wrappers are all marked so you know what kind of chocolate you're getting.
Absolutely.
And when you box it,
right, you know exactly what you're getting.
Well, this, I mean, is a really neat machine.
Oh yeah, we've been doing this. We've kind of the leader in the industry for marketing chocolates and selling them individually. We sell them all over the country. As you can see, there's a lot of machinery here, but there's still a lot of handwork that that you can't replace. You still need the people in there putting their touches on it, loading it, unloading it.
What is your biggest account? Because you're really more of a wholesaler now than actually a retail
we have
product.
3 big distributors. Destroyer Foods, it's down in this Dutch Valley up in York, Pennsylvania. They each go to 30 states themselves with about, I think they have fleets of 60 or 70 semis.
So it's true that you are one of the largest UPS clients in the Mahoning Valley.
Probably, yeah, with the Home Shopping Network. We've been known to put 5,000 packages a day out.
Tell me how you got hooked up with the Home Shopping Network, because I mean, that is just...
Well, the candy industry is a tight industry. If you're in the business and you know anybody, I could walk in any candy store anywhere in the country and they're going to grab me and take me right through their plant. And a lot of our friends out there, when Home Shopping Network was looking, they steered them our way because what we were doing is what they were looking for. And even like some of our competitors in town, like Dappin's, they're our friends. They're a competitor, but we don't compete against each other.
Yeah.
They they pretty much steered our way because this is what our niche is. I classify ourselves as we're small enough to take on a job that the big company won't. If you needed 1 million pieces, big company doesn't want to hear it. That's not even worth them starting their lines. But then a little guy, he can't do it. So we're right in the middle. We're the biggest little company around.
That's a good slogan.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just from a little boy starting, in the cellar and coming out like this. It's been great, And the thing is, like I said, everybody got their own job. We all know what we got to do, and if there's a problem, we all just sit down and.
We got family, all family. Yeah. We got his daughter, my sons, his son. Got cousins.
It's amazing. We all get along, and it's good. We all work hard, and biggest thing, we good at lunch, that's for sure.
You do eat good at lunch. And I know I see you down at St. John's. So I know.
We meet all the time.
People always say, you guys getting together for Christmas dinner? I said, we don't want to see each other on Christmas. We see each other every day.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.